Let us feel the unchanging, eternal core of our being. Let us close the eyes and feel that within this frame of continuously changing body and mind, there is the constant picture of our eternal self, the true life that never dies. In the serenity of profound stillness, let us feel this essence of existence. This is abode of true bliss and true peace. All conflicts have resolved here. The earth is full of peace. All directions are peaceful. The waters are peaceful. The air is peaceful. All creatures, all plants are permeated with this supreme peace. May this peace pervade every moment of my life. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Let us open the eyes and feel this peace all around. When our minds are filled with peace, all the surrounding also becomes full of peace. And that is a great message of this auspicious day, a very significant day in the history of mankind, and a day filled with great lesson about eternal life, about the conquest by the spirit of the matter. That is the special message of Easter, that Jesus died on the cross, and he mentions that nobody killed him. He says that he died of his own volition to impart a message. He says, and I quote from John, "Therefore does my Father love me, because I lay down my life. No man taketh it from me, but I lay it down of myself." He lays down this life. What for? To show us all the path of eternal life. The life of body is subject to death anyway. Nobody really needs to kill us. We are going to die. Whether we want or not, the life of body is meant to die. That is going on. The process of death is going on all the time. And yet we want to live. Where do we find the life? That is the message from Jesus' life, that those who die unto matter, they are resurrected in spirit. The resurrection is a very important cornerstone of Christian teachings, and it was never mentioned in the earlier text that it is just a physical resurrection. Even today, most Christians do not accept the physical resurrection, the resurrection of spirit. You can look at the statistical surveys and all, because physical resurrection would be just an art of magic and miracle and that sort of thing. That is not what is meant there. It was the conquest of the spirit, conquest by the spirit of this material life that we lead. We believe in Vedanta that the life of incarnation of God like Jesus, it is lived to teach people. They assume human body to teach us. But we have to learn to look at the picture and not at the frame. The frame is to highlight the picture. But we are not supposed to keep on looking at the frame, but to look at the picture. And this is the process of diving deeper and deeper in the nature of the truth to find out that what really that means. We have, for example, a picture of Jesus here, another picture of Jesus here. Both these pictures are actually paintings by profoundly spiritual people. And we see that those pictures they have a frame around them. There is a frame, but we are looking at the picture. It is, we don't say what is there. If we are asked, we don't say that there is a frame like that. We say it is a picture. And what that picture is of, we say it is picture of Jesus. That is very good. But again, this picture itself is a frame. We have to go deeper than that. What this picture or this body really embodies, this body is a frame. What does it contain? That is to be looked into. That is where we find the tremendous meaning, significance of this life, a very special life lived on earth for the sake of us. The life of dying on the cross. The cross has great significance. Cross is not merely a Christian symbol as such. The cross existed as a religious symbol even before Jesus. It has a deeper significance. It suggests the resolution of conflicts through the spiritual awareness. Our life, as we all are aware, everybody is aware, is full of conflict. In fact, the conflict is what even at this mundane level sustains it. What is the meaning of conflict? The tremendous variety. I am different from you. I have different thoughts than your thoughts. And these differences, they come to collide with each other. I want to say, I see the food, I feel that I am the eater, the food is to be eaten. So what do I do? I devour the food. The food is gone. And I feel that is, I get enriched by that. And so I keep on running after food. Wherever now there is the problem that I am not allowed to get my food. I fight. I kill others for that. Basically different kinds of food. I go for that and try to resolve this conflict through fight. But it does not get resolved. A normal human instinct is to fight, to see somebody and fight, that you feel that person is different from you. And the difference kind of bites us, that because of the inner oneness. The inner oneness makes us, that difference is felt as conflict, because we do not see the inner oneness. So the distinctions, differences, they fill us with this idea that I must therefore eliminate the others. This happens also not with one person and another person, but then we form communities on the basis of similarities, mine and the yours, others' communities. Yes, let us come together, all of same skin color, or going to the same religious place, speaking the same language, or different types of groups are collected and formed together. And now the other group, we see the differences, that we behave in this way, they behave another way. Well, that is not right. And so we must resolve this conflict by attacking them. Our philosophy and their philosophy, our God and their God. God also is therefore used for this kind of attacks and conflicts. Our God is different from their God. So come on, let us eliminate them. Eliminate the other is at the physical level is the way that many try to resolve the conflict. That is how we have battles, wars, quarrels and all that. Because the conflict is being seen at a physical level, and the solution is also sought at that level. That is the course of an ignorance man. An ignorant person sees that we two are different, and we emphasize that difference and then create that kind of conflict. If we have to survive, then those others, they should not be allowed to survive. They will attack us. Maybe not today, but we should be beware of them. So spy on them if they have any design to attack us. So the whole structure is based on a physical resolution of this conflict. Jesus brought the other way of resolving this conflict. At the physical level, can we ever resolve conflict like this? The history has shown that we cannot resolve the conflict in this manner. It keeps on growing and growing, becoming more and more intense, and thus there is no ever resolution of this kind of conflict. It is, as we have seen, Lord Buddha also has given the same message, that look, you can never conquer the anger by other anger. You have to conquer, you can conquer anger through non-anger or love. You can conquer the miserliness by being generous. You can conquer the cruelty by compassion. That is, so this is what requires going deeper into our true nature. Physical frame. Now let us come to the frame. Let us see what is in this physical frame, and we will reach a layer where something that is beyond death, that could be discovered. That which is beyond death will be discovered when we penetrate this frame, the physical personality. If we see, for example, what is the life of Jesus, when we look at Jesus, for that matter, any picture, when we see the frame and see the picture, And then we say, for example, this is the picture of Abraham Lincoln. Now, as soon as we see the picture, we recognize, if we recognize, fortunately still we recognize it is Abraham Lincoln's picture. So, what do we see there? Not just the form. Now that picture also becomes a frame, and the life of Lincoln, the wonderful qualities that he had expressed in his life, whatever the inner qualities, they are seen in that picture. So the picture also essentially there becomes a frame, and you see those qualities. In the meditation processes that are told in Vedanta is similar in every other this thing also. What do we do there? It is told that, first initially our anthropomorphic brain setup will let us see only the form. So concentrate on the form, concentrate on the name, use the name to concentrate on the form. If the person is in front of you, you can see the form. But if not, then use the name. Think, for example, the name of someone who is very near and dear to you, and not right in front of your eyes, but when you think of the name, that person comes and before the eyes of your mind. And then that has such an advantage because with the name, not only one form comes, but so many forms. Suppose a mother starts thinking of her daughter. Just remember the name, and then the picture of daughter kind of comes up. Then not only one picture, how did she look when she was a little girl, how was she playing, all those pictures will appear. Then it will go further when she used to go to college and all that, how she looked, what she did, all those pictures will appear. All these things, they are all part of that, the power that comes by the name. So when we think of Jesus, that name brings so many pictures before us. Now, each of them again brings up various qualities associated with that. So the next level of meditation starts, that instead of now the meditation on the form, it becomes meditation on the qualities. Technically in Sanskrit it is called that first Rupa Dhyana, means meditation, Dhyan means meditation on the form. But then it leads to meditation on qualities, called Gunadhyana. Now, again you see that there is something that is deeper than the qualities as well. You think of the qualities, but you see all these qualities, they indicate the true inner nature of that thing, the essential identity of that thing. The essential identity is expressed as qualities, but is not limited by qualities. It expresses as so many different qualities, no doubt. But then can these qualities limit the essential nature of that thing? It does not. It goes far beyond that. So now see, this is again one has to penetratively see that qualities of such person, they also, although inner to the external form, and so we saw in the frame of the external form. First we just saw the frame put on the external form. But then we saw that that form itself forms a frame, and then we see the qualities. Now these qualities, they also then become a frame and we see the essential nature of that thing. And that is then what we want to see as the true picture by discarding all these different frames. The teachings that emanate from the life of Jesus, it is like this, that you have seen the external conflicts and the way that you go to resolve them by emphasizing the physical differences and trying to establish your superiority than the other person. Now, Jesus has shown a very different way when he said that, and I like that statement as a very special, very forceful message, that you have heard about the, love your friends and hate your enemies. But I say unto you, love your enemies. This is a different direction, say. The conflict of I against you is not there, but I and you. It is a togetherness. It is the message of love, that love thy enemies. Means, can we love our enemies? What happens there is no enemy now. It is just as a matter of instruction it is told, love your enemies. But if you love, will they be enemies? If they will not remain enemies if you are loving them. If you see them as enemies, we cannot love them. It is only when we see that, well, they are like us. They are part of our existence. We are with them. And then when we see that internal oneness, then we love them. And then they are no longer our enemies. It is a very important thing by which to learn to resolve conflicts. And the incarnations of God from ages, they have shown this way of resolving conflict and making our spiritual unity govern our lives. Physical appearances are certainly very different. And when we emphasize that, the differences get emphasized, and conflict can be resolved then by only one way: be aggressive, attack, eliminate competition, and so forth. But when we see this spiritual unity, then there is no conflict to remove. It is all merged in oneness. So that is the life of cross. It is the symbol of God's love and forgiveness. That is what should be the plank of our living. Jesus died on cross of his own volition. But what it signifies is the love of God, and love that God is the common essence of all of us. That is where we actually love each other. One very important characteristic of love is this feeling of oneness, that we see some level of oneness, and that makes us give up our separate individual identities and the unity is established. Like in a family, people would feel as a family we are one. That we love each other because he is my husband or she is my wife, and these are my children, and so forth. You see a oneness there, that mine, and thus you see the love coming. So love essentially depends on this feel of oneness. The I that I feel here, the same I is in others too. That is how Jesus taught to feel the divine everywhere. That love thy God by all thy soul, by all that heart, by all that might, and then love thy neighbor as thyself. As thyself is a very important aspect of it. Just as you love yourself, so also you see the same self in the other person as well. Now, how will that love be? It is just as I love myself. It is like that. That love will not be demanding. When our love is at a level of differences, although we call it love, it is really selfishness being given a nice name. That I love you if you do this for me. Then what is it? Have you ever bought any jewelry for me? What do you mean by loving? It is a love that is not really, it is based on demands, it is based on selfishness, and it is actually expression of selfishness given a nice name, that's it. So, but real love is based on that feeling of oneness. And that one, where are we really one? Are our faces same, alike? No. We understand and expect that our faces should be different. How terrible it will be if we all have the same face, looking at the same thing again and again, all over, all around. So we don't want really the same face. But it is strange that we accept, while we accept that the faces should be different, we expect the same opinion of everybody. That yes, this is right, this is wrong. Everybody should agree that this is right and this is wrong. That is again like we refuse to accept the variety there. That just as our faces are different, our minds too work differently. Their opinions are different. And we should learn to understand and accept that too. It is, if we do not learn this, then the conflicts will continue. We don't have conflict by the difference in the faces, because we understand that yes, your face should be my face. But then, if my opinion says that this party, this political party is right, and your opinion is that political party is right, then okay, fight it out. It is the conflict is there. Somehow we expect that the moral and ethical ideas throughout the world have to be same for every person. That is not it is same that seeking the same face for everyone internally. But that will never give rise to true love. So we have to see, go deeper, remove this frame and see the picture, and we shall see that that is the unity, that is the love of God, that is common to all of us, because we all love self, and that is the evidence of God in us. Many times this question is asked that what is the proof that God exists? And one idea that is presented to answer this is that whenever you are saying, I want to know God, or I want the proof, the one who is asking proof, that is the proof of God. That God is making you seek that. That is the common existence, the self in everyone, that is the God, and that is one and the same. So there lies the possibility of true love, because there is the possibility of oneness. In physical appearances there is no possibility of oneness, nor is there possibility of oneness in mental get-ups. But if you see the picture by abstracting these frames, then we come to the core, where we see the oneness, the true picture of who I am. And then you see that oneness. I had told you a long time back the story of a picture of Lord Krishna, that there was a very famous portrait maker. And then he came to Krishna. At that time Krishna was king. So he came to his palace and said that, well, I am expert painter of portraits. I would like to paint your portrait. He was expecting that after that Krishna will reward, the Lord will reward him with great wealth. And he said, okay, fine. Now he made a sketch and then said, tomorrow I will bring the finished thing. And then next day he brings his canvas. And then by that time, Lord has changed his appearance. So whatever was on the canvas did not match. And this painter said, what a terrible job I have done. I must have made big mistake. And he said, okay, give me another chance. Lord said, fine, take another chance. And then next time also the same. He took lot of efforts to paint, do the exact portrait. And Lord generously gave him a long sitting. And then he went home and then finished it, brought next day, same thing. Didn't match. And then he said, what is this? All my fame that I had acquired, all expertise, all the these great certificates and other things that I had got from many people, it means nothing now. What is this? I had never met such a failure. He became terribly depressed and decided to commit suicide. What is this life? At that time, as he was going into forest and wanted to drown himself in a river there, a mendicant met him. And he told him, don't worry, I will tell you the trick, that how to make the best portrait, that you will see it exactly will match God's, Lord Krishna's appearance. And this man, he whispered the trick in his ears, and then this man went to the court again and said, well, tomorrow I will make your true portrait. I made mistakes, I agree, but tomorrow I will come. Lord Krishna said, fine, I don't mind giving more chances. Look how compassionate I am. So it is. And next day, what he brings was a mirror. So now Lord cannot deny I don't look like this. It is, yeah, that is how this day self is seen. Everybody will become a mirror, we will see ourselves in everybody. Every mind is a mirror where I get reflected. That is why when you ask somebody, who are you? That person says, I am Millie, and I live here, and so forth. I am. Everybody that he will say, I am Paul, and she will say that I am so and so, I am so and so, I am so and so. But I am will be said. That is our true name. I am that. Because that is, I am mirrored in you. That same I is mirrored in everybody. We are like that mirror, and this I is seen in each and every appearance. So that is what got resurrected. And this is what we have to resurrect. That is the message of this Easter, that resurrect the spirit. As Lord did it, die to the flesh and resurrect the spirit. There lies the eternal life. There lies the eternal love. And so, it is, as I again quote from Bible, it is as it is sown, the meaning of resurrection given in Corinthians, that it is sown in corruption, raised in incorruption. Sown in a natural body, it is raised in a spiritual body. So it is raising in this spiritual body. This physical body is not our true nature. It is dying. So let us look upon it like that. One of my teachers used to tell that how you can feel it. Sometimes those who do not see the positive idea in it feel it as a depressing thought, that, oh, I am dying, I have to think of my death. He would say that look upon your body as already on the cremation this thing, or is being buried. Think of it. It is being burnt or buried. Don't worry, anyway it is going to that destination, is it not? Just as when a friend of mine said, I am going to Florida, now already has started planning about Florida, what he is going to do when he is going to reach. He is still here, but is planning that then I will go to this place and I will see this park and that thing. So, similarly, now this body is on a journey, and that is the destination. Who disagrees with it, that it is death is the destination of it? Now, think of it and see what next. Well, that is the resurrection. It is, this body is for resurrecting us spiritually. And for that we have to willingly die to the body. Doesn't mean that we have to commit suicide. That is not what is meant. To see dying to the physical existence means disowning this idea that I am this body. I am far beyond this physical existence. And therein lies all the love, all the bliss, all the peace that we seek. In this attachment to physical existence, the death is certain. That is the only thing that is really certain. If somebody is born, that somebody has to die. That is the certainty there. But when we learn to live disowning this physical existence. Just as we don't identify, I have never seen a person identifying himself or herself with the coat that she puts on. We don't say that, yes, I take the coat, no doubt. When I am going out in cold, naturally I will put not only one, I will put many layers. But I put them on, I take them off. The body is just a little inner coat, that's all. I don't say that I am this coat. So also, we have to learn, friends, to say that I am not this body. That is the meaning of dying to the body. Just as to say that, this coat is not me, this jacket is not me, I don't have to throw away the jacket in the trash. I can put it on the hanger and put it on, whatever. I don't get identified with it. Problem with body is that we get identified with it. We do not see it as a coat. It is just a coat, friends. We are not the bodies. That is the great message of Easter, to learn to willingly die to the body, our physical existence, and the spiritual essence will surface. We need to penetrate to this frame of body, frame of mind, and catch the essence of our being, so that that essence is full of bliss. That essence is full of peace. Otherwise, do we find bliss and peace? We run after many things. My house is too small and therefore I don't feel happy, let me have a big house. And then that person goes and buys a big house and buys a big problem. So it is it is often seen that it is that whatever we think that will bring happiness does not bring happiness really. Whatever we feel will bring peace does not bring peace, because the source of it is different. This source of it is our spiritual essence, and that is to be resurrected. It is sown. That sentence is so beautiful, that it is sown in the body, resurrects in the spirit. Means what? That this body is to be used for that purpose. It is like you sow a seed in the soil. Now it brings, the tree grows up from there, brings fruits and all that, and then we eat the fruit. That is worth eating. It is sown in the soil doesn't mean that we eat the soil. It is the fruit that comes from there that we eat. So we are sown, this self is seen in the body. Now separate it. Now learn to grow, use this body to realize the self. That is the best use of having body, to realize our true self. Separate it. In many Upanishads you will find this same idea given so beautifully, that it is the body is there, but see the self in the body. It is like in Kathopanishad it says that the self resides in all hearts. But now you have to very carefully remove this covering and take it out, like in this grass stem. The analogy given is so beautiful there, that in the stem of a grass, this thing, shoot, you see that there is inside that stem there is another finer stem. Now if you have to take that finer stem out, you have to do it very carefully, cautiously. otherwise it will break. So, similarly, through this physical existence, take out the inner essence, that is, looking to the picture, discarding the frame. Thank you, friends.